Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody? And I guess I should say, welcome to the first Raw of the year. I should have made a video kind of recapping all the stuff from last year. And maybe I will just do that just because, but let's start off with Raw. The first Raw of the year. And it may be a different year, but they back on that bullshit, as usual. And we kicked off with Mick Foley, which he had a haircut. Kind of looked like old one Commissioner Foley. And still don't know if he's had the hip surgery yet, but Foley was out there. He looked different, and he said, right here, I was going to say the wrong city, but he said Tampa, Florida. I don't know if it was a botch of that. Until when Jericho came out talking about the cage again and how they're not getting what they want. Jericho pretty much says that Seth Rollins has brutalized me backstage and pedigreed me out of the car, and you reward him with a match? And Kevin Owens says, I shouldn't be having to defend my title, and Jericho shouldn't be in a shark cage or whatever. But Foley said, we know about the Kevin Owens show. And do you know what tonight? It will be a Kevin Owens show. And tonight's first guest will be Goldberg on there. Owens said, alrighty, he'll go with it. And he thought it was a little weird how Mick Foley books his guests until Stephanie McMahon came out, pretty much talking about this segment and everything that's going on, and that Mick isn't going anywhere, and we're not going to abuse our power here, and that Jericho will be the spot, the shark cage. Mick pretty much then talked about the last man standing match with Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman tonight. Owen said nobody cares, and we don't care about that stuff. You need to address our issues right now. And Stephanie pretty much, once again, I don't know why we keep getting... Sorry, I got a cold here, people. But once again, we get the same match on Raw every week. Since Stephanie's now pissed at the ratings and how SmackDown beat Raw in them, which isn't that really surprising, at least they did. They says we're supposed to be the land of opportunity, not Raw. So we need to get our stuff together so we can get all the ratings, which you guys probably won't, especially when we're booking the same match over and over again. Hey, sorry, it's on my throat right there. But we're booking the same match again. Oh, and the same match, folks. For the U.S. title tonight, it'll be Roman Reigns. Once again, I don't know how many times we've seen him face this man, but Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. And if Reigns loses pretty much by DQ or counted out, he will lose the title automatically. And Kevin Owens will go one-on-one with Seth Rollins, which he tried to emasculate all these guys again until, like I said, until Foley get his stuff together. We have a ratings war to win. But I feel like I've seen Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. It's like switch around every week. It's Reigns versus Owens. Reigns versus Jericho. Rollins versus Jericho. Rollins versus Owens. Owens versus Reigns. Jericho versus Rollins. I feel like we see this every week now. And it pretty much was done by DQ. A DQ win since Owens used the title to hit. Did he use the title? No, he used the ring bell to hit Seth Rollins with. And then pretty much after that, Owens argued with the ref, and Rollins had to do a pedigree on him, but Owens got out of there pretty much complaining. So it was an okay match, I'll say that. But it was an okay match, but we've seen this many times, and it's feel like it's got to be in the same old thing with Owens and Jericho just coming out to complain every week. That's all they do at this point. Cesaro and Sheamus came out. Cesaro was ready for a match to go against Carl Anderson. Pretty much fit, which was a really good match. Not a bad match. Cesaro is crazy in the ring with all the stuff he does. I never know what move Cesaro's gonna do. He does so much new shit, I can't tell what he does. Especially that some type of a moonsault jumping off the ropes. Hitting some type of crossbody or almost like a moonsault. Almost. Hitting on Carl Anderson. But the match ended up with Gallows trying to get up there, and then Sheamus pulled him down, and I guess it hit the ropes, and Cesaro fell off the ropes, and Anderson hit him with a top rope neck breaker for the win. So it was actually a good match. I'm surprised that both Gallows and Anderson are now going for the titles now after they've done nothing really, and went against Goldust and Truth last week in that bad segment with over the whole Dusty thing. I'm sure a lot of people have had many complaints about that, especially Cody. And all really Gallows and Anderson do nowadays is just go around and call people nerds and dorks and whatever. And they've lost. I don't know what happened when they were in the Bullet Club, but ever since they came to WWE, they've been looking like shitheads. No, they look like fucking morons, really, because they just been shitted on. Braun Strowman went against Sami Zayn in a last man standing match. It was a good match. I will say that. Because most of the time was Braun Strowman destroying Sami Zayn throughout the match. Sami Zayn was getting weapons like a kendo stick and steel chair and stuff. They've evolved in the back a little where Braun Strowman was throwing these crates around. But I felt like every time Sami Zayn was hitting Braun Strowman with a weapon, it's like he would deflect it later on and pretty much start. And let me say this. I know people are going to talk about this about Braun Strowman saying he needs to upgrade his arsenal a little. And I've seen that now tonight. Because most of his moves are either punching, a punch, maybe a clothesline, a kick. And there was a lot of throwing in this match. It's like every time Sami Zayn hit him with a weapon, Braun Strowman just kept throwing him all over the place. He threw him from here, he threw him from there, he threw him across the ropes, he threw him into the stage, he threw him into some crates. There was a lot of throwing in this match. He threw him up the stage. Even Sami Zayn doing that crossbody across the stage, well, knocking him off the stage into some tables. He threw him up the stage. He threw him off the stage. Sami Zayn doing a moonsault off the barricade. Threw him somewhere else. But Braun Strowman was mostly pretty much dominating him then, and he hit about 2 power slams, and it was over after that. And then Mick Foley came out with a stretcher for Sami Zayn, and after that, Strowman knocked him off and threw him all over the place. So, I know people are saying this right now. Some say Zayn has gained nothing from this. I don't know what he's gained after this, really. I don't know how this helps Sami Zayn. Some think he will return to the Royal Rumble probably in the next 4 weeks and eliminate Braun Strowman. I don't know about winning the Rumble, as some people say. I don't know about winning the Royal Rumble, no. But I could see the whole elimination thing, because I've heard several people I know say that tonight. They even brought up that idea. I even read it on the internet, too. On Twitter. Next was the New Day. Check the matches real quick. Yeah, but I don't know where Sami Zayn goes on from this, but I will say Braun Strowman does need to upgrade his arsenal because there was a lot of throwing in this match. But the New Day were ready to come out there after they did some type of dueling thing with Umbros with Jack Gallagher in the back. But they came out. They said they are going to be in the Royal Rumble, and they talked about their goals for this year and talked about their catchphrase. And next thing you know, Titus O'Neil came out, which this segment was. I don't know what to say this would say. I don't know where the New Day are positioned right now, especially with Titus O'Neil, because Titus O'Neil is horrible with this Titus brand thing. And he tried to come out and dance and say he should be a new member of the New Day, and pretty much says he should be in the New Day, and tried to demonstrate his stuff with a catchphrase. He tried to get Francesca, but Wood says nobody touches my girl. They say he came prepared with a whistle. And Biggie pretty much stopped him in and said, you don't even need to be on the face of a booty, you need to be on the side of a milk carton. And Titus pretty much said that, that's funny coming from the weakest link of the New Day till Wood stepped up and said, I'll show you how weak I am, until Titus and pretty much put a sucker punch on him. It then became a match between him and Titus. So I don't know why they have Titus on there doing this. I don't know where the New Day goes on from here. Because look, they just kind of went down a couple of matches because of this. And then Titus O'Neil went against Xavier Woods, which Xavier Woods won. This match was just Tyson O'Neil won, not Tyson O'Neil, but Xavier Woods won with a sunset flip, and this match was just there. It wasn't much happening. It was just there. Stephanie McMahon then was talking to Bayley, and Bayley says, "Why did you do that thing with the lawyers last week?" It said that Charlotte has pedigree, class, star power, and Bayley's just ordinary. You're not even good enough to be on Monday Night Raw. We didn't even want you on Raw. Hopefully, I want Bayley to go to SmackDown now at this point, but Bayley pretty much even tried to respond after Stephanie mostly berated her through the whole thing. Bayley just pretty much said, I don't have a famous last name, and I didn't grow up in this business like you or Charlotte, but she belongs on Raw. And that's why she's Bayley. That's good enough for her. And she's not going to let anything stand in her way. And pretty much said, you have a number one contenders match tonight for the women's title. And your opponent will be Nia Jax. Which, I don't know what happened to Bayley about this point, but some say that Bayley should have been mad during the segment. Bayley said a very lackadaisical, wasn't even trying with any type of passion after Stephanie just berated her, and Bayley didn't show any type of fire. Some people think she's now been sabotaged ever since she's came to the main stage right now, because she's just done. Bayley's booking on Raw has made no sense in multiple ways. She's just there. She hasn't done much, but she's just there. And then again, why is she fighting for a number one contender spot if she's already beaten the champion 3 times in a row now? That's what I don't get. She's beaten the champ 3 times in a row. But now she's in a title shot. She has to go against Nia Jax for it. And I don't know where you come back from that Stephanie segment. Some people think it was almost like a shoot a little. But Bayley just did nothing right after. She just done nothing. And then after that we pretty much had who was it, Nomdar and the Cedric Alexander thing, Alicia Fox, which Nomdar is just going around being a creep, and he was gonna apologize to them, but then he pretty much called her sweet cheeks, and then he ran off as Cedric Alexander. It looked like he was gonna do something until Cedric went against Drew Gulak. And it pretty much ended like the same finish on 205 Live last week with Tony Nese, with the referee getting distracted by Alicia Fox, and Tony Nese, Drew Gulak got the win, and then he ran up the ramp saying, I win. So, there wasn't much to say about that match. It was just there. Chris Jericho went against Roman Reigns for the U.S. title, and holy shit, my God, how strong do they want to make Roman look more? Which Jericho was mostly cheered through this thing. And I'll say this as a quick side note. I know they were in Tampa and everything, but whoever the guy that was with dressed as Hulk Hogan out there, I know they noticed they moved him probably to the opposite side or moved him somewhere, because once again, it's almost like last year in a way when they were in Tampa. People started chanting Randy Savage because they didn't care about Bray Wyatt versus Kane, and I guess people were so distracted by the Hogan one, they had to move him, and that's why The Rock had to come out do that off the script thing last time on Raw, and I know they got mad at that because he noticed those guys dressed as people. So I guess they moved that Hogan dude because he's there a lot. But Reigns versus Jericho. Oh God, it's like Jericho had to do an Eddie Guerrero spot, and Reigns still won the match. Jericho did the Eddie thing where he threw the title at Reigns and laid down. And here's the thing I don't get. If Reigns loses by either DQ or count out, he'll lose the title regardless. How come when they did that spot, the referee just didn't disqualify Reigns from there, and just kept listening to Reigns plead his case? And then Jericho hit a code breaker, and he still kicked out. And even Jericho tried to take out the exposed turnbuckles, and it didn't work. And Jericho pretty much tried to charge into Reigns, and Jericho hit the turnbuckle, and Reigns hit the spear, and it was over. So yada yada yada. But that spot didn't make any sense, almost. And if we knew he was going to lose by count out in DQ, why did the referee disqualify him right there? Jericho could have been champion. It makes no sense. Brian Kendrick went against TJ Perkins, and nobody cared. Neville was just watching in the back. I don't know. The cruiserweights, every time they're on Raw, they're just an afterthought, really. They've just buried these guys. And 205 Live is somewhat helping, but it isn't. But it looks like Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins was just there. TJ Perkins won with the knee bar, and it felt like they were just out there to do a match just because. Like, just no one just didn't do anything. It was supposed to be Enzo and Cass, but Enzo's still in the chair. Cass to go against Mahal and Rusev, which this match didn't make no sense because it ended really quickly. Since Cass said Enzo couldn't do it, Cass said he's gonna do it by himself, and it ended really quick with Mahal trying to mess with Enzo and Cass just taking a kick from Rusev and won, and then they pretty much ran off after that. After Mahal and Rusev won, and I'll say this: I know a lot of people say this about Jinder Mahal tonight. Some people think he needs a random drug test right now. I'll say this right here: Jinder Mahal is jacked to the fucking gills right now. I don't know if that gets somebody say he's a walking drugstore or whatever type of steroids he's on. I don't know if he's just worked out, but Jesus Christ, this man just looks just fucking jacked. I'm sure Vince likes that because this dude look fucking diesel out there. Like I said, what did Jinder Mahal look like that? Some say he needs a random drug test, but the way that guy looks, something. I don't know if he's on something or not, but he looked like a walking drugstore. The ends on Cass. They looked like they were bored throughout this match and didn't care. So I feel like this match went literally like a minute or two, and they didn't do nothing with this. Nia Jax won against Bayley then, which that didn't go long either. Nia Jax was about to do something off the top rope until Sasha Banks came out, and Bayley ran up and did a Bayley to belly off the top rope and won the match. Even though we've seen these two fight each other in NXT, and Bayley has beaten her before. Even though I forgot this was a title shot, I literally thought this was a #1 contender spot anyways for the Royal Rumble. So we kind of knew Bayley was going to win. I guess they had to fit that in somehow. And some think that Nia Jax should have been beaten at a bigger moment, really, but they're just setting that up for just Sasha Banks versus her. And I don't know. Some people they think they just can't take that back because Nia Jax shouldn't have lost that quickly. And Bayley just getting the win just because. Like I said before, we've seen these two face each other in NXT. It's not a lot to say about this match, and some people just think that she hasn't showed any passion or fire. Like she's not the same Bayley from NXT. Let's just put it as that. She's not the same one. She just really isn't. And she pretty much got help to win this match tonight against Nia Jax. And she will have a match at the Rumble, but I don't know. But Bayley tonight, I just don't know what's going on with that right now. Especially with the Stephanie eviscerating her and she didn't do nothing back about it. Oh, and what else do we have here with this 3-hour show? Kevin Owens and Jericho came out then, which they had a whole setup with a guy with a Kevin Owens sign standing on his head. And you know, tonight's guest is going to be a huge star. It'll be Chris Jericho. And Jericho pretty much put everybody on the list for chanting Goldberg. And he announced that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. But Owens says, if you win, I don't have to face my best friend at WrestleMania. But, we're both of them in the Universal Champion. Until Goldberg came out, he pretty much grabbed the mic. He threw the lawn chair somewhere. And he pretty much talked about Jericho being in the Royal Rumble. And Owens told him to let's seize up and everything. He said, you want to throw some furniture, huh? And pretty much Owens threw all the furniture outside the ring. Think that was gonna do something, and pretty much Jericho's gonna put Goldberg on the list. And Goldberg says, "You know what's on the list?" And he says, "You're first." And he says, "You with a spear," and told Owens, "You with a jackhammer." And Goldberg pretty much got in his face then, tried to intimidate him, but it looked like it wasn't working. Because he pretty much told Kevin Owens, "I don't care who it is who wins after I win the Royal Rumble. I don't care if it's you or Roman Reigns, because we got a date at WrestleMania." And Paul Heyman pretty much came out, which I almost forgot he was there because he's doing some show with Peter Rosenberg on Hot 97 for some reason, right after Raw. And said that Brock Lesnar will eliminate everybody from the Royal Rumble, eat, sleep, elimination, repeat, yada, yada, yada. And then Roman Reigns came out, folks, Roman freaking Reigns. Oh God, why do we got to keep involving this guy in something? As Roman Reigns and Mr. Owens and Jericho, that you're not gonna win anything at the Royal Rumble. But let's talk about you for a second. Pretty much looked at Goldberg and they had to stare down, but it looked like nobody cared. And then Strowman came out saying he was gonna win the Royal Rumble, and then Reigns and Goldberg pretty much kept staring at each other, and then they double speared Strowman. Like, what the fuck? I just sat there like, what the fuck was that? First, I'll say this one. I said this on Twitter tonight. That whole ending was a clusterfuck of a segment. It was just too much going on that I didn't know what was going to happen, really. And Goldberg looked like he tried to punk out Jericho and Owens. Owens looked like he did try to step up and say he was delusional and stuff. Reigns and Goldberg, who gives a crap, really? And I know this is going to happen next week. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are going to be on Raw. I don't know why Undertaker's on Raw. The only reason why both of them are on there is just to it's a desperate attempt to get some ratings. Because last time I remember, I thought Undertaker said his home was SmackDown. And some people really are fearing now, and I talked to somebody about this tonight. If it's really going to be Roman Reigns versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, that is just bullshit beyond bullshit. And I swear to God, if Reigns even went over on the Undertaker, and even if they went through with this match, it would be fucking retarded. And and I don't even want to see Reigns versus Goldberg. That's why if Goldberg has to put him over, it's not gonna work out. But this show just went on to be really, really bad throughout the first hour. I didn't mind the last man standing match, but a lot of this just started turning to crap through multiple ways. Either some say the cruiserweights are afterthoughts, the women's division. Some say lack on character, and the only person that has it is Charlotte. Oh yes, oh yeah, we forgot about Emelina. Still showing. I don't care if Emelina, whatever she wants to call herself, debuts at this point, because this has now become a running gag, and I don't know if anybody cares in that, because this is just getting annoying, really. Oh, she's coming next week, she's coming next week, she's coming next week. Who gives a crap at this point? If she comes, she comes. She don't, she don't. I've gotten to the point now where I give no fucks. I probably said that maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It happens, it happens. It don't, it don't. Who cares at this point? It's a running gag that looks like it never ends. And it's just a lot of bad throughout that last segment. I don't even know what to think about it, really, once they took out Strowman. I almost thought Goldberg took out Strowman by himself. I didn't know what to say about that bit. That would have just looked beyond crazy. Some even think Seth Rollins is now an afterthought at this point, because he wasn't even the ending part of this segment. And it looked like Seth Rollins he's just there. Seth Rollins is just another guy, some say at this point, that gets DQ victories over comedy heels. And stuff. So I don't know where you position this show. Raw may have a different year, but it's back on the same old bullshit. I don't know how this is going to lead up into the Royal Rumble. I'm sure we know guys like Strowman are in there now, but I don't know why they have to bring out Roman Reigns at the end just to think they could get this over, and trying to put the possibility of Goldberg versus Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania if Roman Reigns even defeats Kevin Owens at the Rumble, if Goldberg even wins the Rumble. So, I don't know what idea they could play up to that, because that would just look beyond crazy. That just look beyond crazy. No one wants to see that match at WrestleMania. Then again, WrestleMania was ass last year. Last year, this year, whatever it was. WrestleMania 32 is just a horrible show. But I don't know where they could even play in a WrestleMania this year doing that match. But it was just a lot of more bad and good into this. I don't know what to say about that. But this show was just beyond fucking retarded. And you just sit there wondering, why do you care at this point? Like, I just got to the point where I just went to get something to drink, and I just didn't care, because like, it just looked like any of these matches went too quickly, or just too many segments, or things that I just didn't care about, because it just went to the point, like, why are they doing this? And hopefully SmackDown, I'm sure, will be a better show tomorrow night, as everyone knows. Hell, even TNA this Thursday. They're going live again on Thursday, so I'm sure that will be a better show than Raw tonight. So, I look forward to SmackDown and Impact this week. Raw just proves itself to be stupid again, so that's my take on it. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.